Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 264 of Comic Book Queer's Legacy. We are back, and I am Brett, and with me, as always, is my host, co-host, EvilJeff. Hi, Evil.
Salutations.
Wow, was that like a Heathers reference? Okay, weird. So, EvilJeff, I
Heathers,
thought...
that is my ex-girlfriend. Right?
What? No, you're...
Never mind. Let's go on with the podcast.
You've always told me you were a golden gay, that you never slept with a girl.
Right.
Okay.
Let's go on. Let's go on with the podcast.
Okay. Well, I thought instead of starting with X-Men comics, we would start talking about Secret Invasion, the new MCU show. How do you feel about that?
It's the best show that's ever been made. It has the best cast, and it has Skrulls, which are the best things that have ever been made ever.
Okay. I don't know who you are, but I know EvilJeff, and there's no fucking way he likes this show. So let me guess.
Wait, what? Oh no.
You're a Skrull, aren't you?
Yeah,
there
all
it
right,
is.
it's true. I'm a Skrull.
Why are you here?
EvilJeff hired me. He really hated Secret Invasion, so he hired me to come in and do the podcast because he didn't want to do it.
That makes a lot more sense. So did you hook up?
And I'm totally straight, so I felt really uncomfortable portraying someone of a different sexuality because I might be a Skrull, but I am woke and I'm not an asshole.
Wow, I thought your sexuality would be as fluid as your physical body.
No, no matter what shape I'm in, I like pussy. So I'm either a lesbian or I'm a straight man. That's how it works.
Yeah. Okay. So did you kill EvilJeff?
No, actually, he's just hiding in the closet over there.
Okay.
He's just
Could you get him and tell him that he has to do the show?
Hey, EvilJeff, the gig is up. The jig is up. I don't know what the phrase is.
Because you're
human.
A Skrull. Yeah.
You need to come out. God damn it!
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You could still
have to fucking talk about this.
Yes, you do. Our listeners want to know.
I don't want to talk about this.
Well, we're going to anyway.
Shit.
And you know what? It's really
All
shitty
right.
for you to hire a Skrull and try to pass him off as you. By the way,
I know, especially because I thought we were at least going to have sex, but he only likes women.
But what if? Oh yeah.
Sorry about it. Yeah.
All right. Well, could you fuck off, Skrull, and so we can start the actual show?
Okay, I'm gonna go. I got a match on my Bumble. Today I'm looking like Claudia Schiffer.
Ew. Bye.
Isn't she? She's like 50 now.
Gross.
All right, whatever. All right, I'm ready to do the show for real.
All right, hit the music. Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 264 of Comic Book Queer's Legacy. I am your host, Brett, and with me, as always, is the real EvilJeff. Hi.
Hey.
It's been a long time.
It has. Can you explain why? Because it's not my fault.
It's not your fault. We took a 3-week break because I spent 2 of those weeks on the continent. It was called vacation.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a reference to Soap Dish, where Sally Field refers to Europe. She refers to Europe as the I wasn't there. I was on the continent.
No, I get that. I'm just saying I don't understand what a vacation is because I've never taken it.
Yeah. You know what? I saved my pennies and saved up my time and took a little vacation to the continent.
So where were you in Europe?
Well, I don't want to brag, but I was in Italy and Spain.
Is it just me, or is it true that all the men in Italy and Spain are basically hotter than fuck?
Yes, yes. Like at one point I got into a taxi to go to the airport and I was like, fuck, even the taxi driver, he was like to die for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just so incredible. And they're all very swarthy.
They're all very, yes. They're all very
but then put together, and even someone that they don't care about fashion, they still somehow look like
everyone looks amazing.
Off the runway.
Everybody looks amazing. You cannot dress like an American when you're there. You cannot. I had a lot of fun though. My husband and I, we went to Rome Pride, and then we went to Sitges Pride, which is a beach community outside of Barcelona.
Is that like the Fire Island of Spain?
Yes. So now what? And it was a lot of fun, but honestly, I missed you and I missed the show and I missed comic books. I went into a lovely comic book shop in Florence, Italy, and I must say, it felt right.
Were the comics in Italian?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. Fantasticortri.
Yeah, and in Italy, it's called the Examena.
Okay, no. Stop that.
They're called spicy meatballs.
Stop it. Listen, so we've got...
I'm Italian. I can do that.
Oh, you're so not Italian.
Oh, honey, you are allowed to... That's the white people are allowed to imitate all of the accents of all of Europe because it's white people. Sorry.
That's true. And let me say, they just do shit different there, okay? It's so weird being back where like people eat bacon and eggs in the morning and have like giant coffees. It's weird.
Well, there's also siestas. Dinners start at like 10 p.m.
Oh, girl, we had dinner at 10 p.m. Like, we had an espresso at 11 and like could sleep fine. I don't understand it.
Yeah. It's also, everyone tells me, they're like, I went to Europe and stuffed my face and lost weight. What
I came back.
is happening?
I came back skinnier. I don't understand. It's the Mediterranean. Who knows? It's mystery.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I was just sitting my fat ass in Los Angeles. But I guess, did you miss out on a lot of the fires?
No, right when that time where the Canadian wildfires first made New York like a smoky, hellacious hellscape, I left the next day.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so that was good. To fly, literally flew out of opaque smoke into somewhat clearer air.
Lovely.
Well, a
lot of stuff has happened since you left.
I know. I mean,
talk about... Oh, go ahead.
I did keep up with comics. I mean,
that's good.
I cannot escape who I am. So I would go and I would download and I would read and they were great. And I would like to talk about them.
How about we hit some hot topics first? Hit the music.
Ow.
We got some hot topics. Yeah.
David
pretty much
Corenswet. David Corenswet. Do you know who he is now?
I believe he's the new Superman.
Yes, he is. And do you know who basically gave him his chances, put him in things? You'll never guess who took a chance on this very good-looking brunette boy.
Who?
Ryan Murphy.
Oh, of course.
He was in The Politician. No, he was in He was in Hollywood, which I thought was very, very good with Jeremy Pope.
Oh, okay.
That short-lived series on Netflix.
Was he gay in it? Did he have a gay sex scene?
He was. I think he had sex with Rock Hudson.
Who played Rock Hudson?
Oh, I don't know his name, but he was gorgeous.
Some other brunette?
Yeah. Some other Ryan Murphy type.
Ryan Murphy, his type is so basic, though.
It is so basic.
It's like chiseled jaw, brunette with blue eyes.
Like nothing interesting, but still hot.
I mean, I'd fuck them. Oh, yeah, I saw this new Superman. I'm like, you're pretty hot. I mean, unfortunately, Henry Cavill is like of the top tier of hottest people of all time. So I'd have to see him in the Superman outfit. I also need to see more pictures of him shirtless. Yeah. Because Henry Cavill is just pretty fucking hot.
But you know what? Henry Cavill wasn't jacked like that when he got the Superman role.
Exactly. So we don't know what he's going to start his steroid regimen very soon.
Yeah, very soon. He's shooting up steroids right now.
And talented Mrs. Maisel is going to be Lois Lane.
Oh my God. Honestly, inspired casting. That's great casting. I'm very excited for Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. I really am.
And she is still married to
Quentin Coldwater.
Quentin from The Magicians.
Jason
who was
Ralph.
He was in the last season.
Maisel.
Of A Talented Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got a new Superman. What is this movie going to be?
This is Superman Legacy. So this is going to be the introduction of James Gunn's Superman. I think it's pretty much going to serve as like an introduction to James Gunn's DC universe outside of the show about Viola Davis. Is Peacemaker
part of this universe?
Yes.
Okay, so this takes place in the same universe. But then the new Batman and Robin that's going to have Damian Wayne, will that be in a separate universe?
That will be part of this universe, and they'll premiere in a James Gunn movie called The Brave and the Bold.
Okay.
The Elseworlds Batman will be Robert Pattinson, who won't be part of James Gunn's Sacred Timeline.
Yeah. Because DC is having a reckoning right now, and it's kind of like they're kind of getting all of their older movies out of the way, and it's seeming we're going to talk a bit later about a little movie called The Flash.
Are we talking about that? Did you see it?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you saw it.
Opening weekend.
Oh, girl.
Yes.
I did not see it because honestly, it feels like I took out the garbage bag out of the garbage. And then, oh no, there's like shit scraped on the bottom of the actual can underneath the bag. And I'm just going to leave that there.
Do you want me to talk about it now, or do you want to wait until we're talking about movies?
Let's wait till we talk about the movies.
Okay, because I have a surprising take on it.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, then we have to hear it now.
Okay. It's that, all right, give me a 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I liked it. Oh no. I thought
wow.
it was really good. It's definitely too long.
That's part of why I didn't see it.
It could have easily had like 40 minutes cut out of it. It's the first act is so good. And Ezra Miller, they're problematic. They should probably never make a movie again. However, they are a very good actor and they're very funny in it. And it's a very strong movie. I think the problem is it tried to tell too much. And by the time it got to by the end of the second act, it was like, okay, let's start wrapping this up. It was just trying to do a little too much. And I think they could have just cut a huge chunk out of it.
I ask you this. I understand there's a variety of surprise cameos. I ask that you don't give those away because I actually may go see it tonight.
Okay. I will say this, though. It definitely it's too long, but for what it is, I think you could say the same thing for a lot of the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
But however, I just felt the balance of comedy and action was really, really was fun for me.
Honestly, I have not heard anyone who has like grossly disliked it. People who typically do not like, this whole corner of the DCEU are like, it was pretty good.
Yeah. It's nothing like mind-boggling, and I will say sometimes it just started to rely a little too much on the cameos. Like, there's a cameo here. Let them say a catchphrase so it's about the cameo from that universe. But there's definitely, because it's dealing with the multiverse, which everyone's getting a little tired of.
Yeah.
But there's some pretty cool Superman and Batman. Pretty much a lot of different Superman and Batman show up, and it's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. All right. I love this. I'm going to go see it tonight.
Okay. All right. We'll just leave it at that then, since I don't want to give you too many spoilers.
We'll talk about it next week.
Okay, great.
All right. In the meantime, though, there are a ton of comic books that we need to talk about. And since it's you and I, girl, we're going to stay with the X-Men.
Hit the music.
I was reading X-Men comics in a cocktail bar. That much is true. Yeah.
All right. We missed so much. It's been three weeks?
It's been 3 weeks. It's almost as if there's too many books to talk about. But so one thing I'll say is we also are not going to talk about the Marvel and DC Pride one-shots that came out. Full of great stories. I read them. Hits and misses, but again, thankful that those books exist.
There is something of a hot topic news that's X-Men related that I don't think we talked about.
What?
A certain wedding.
Oh my God. They've announced the wedding of Emma Frost and Tony Stark. It's actually happening.
Yes.
It's actually a thing.
And was there another issue of Invincible Iron Man as well?
I don't think so.
Okay. But basically, that's going to be probably playing a big part into leading up to Emma and Tony are going to fall in love and get married. Do you think they're actually going to fall in love?
No, I don't think they're falling in love. Or do you think
it's just a marriage of convenience?
This is socio-political, economic. Yeah.
Do you know that for a fact?
No, I'm guessing.
Do you think? I think they're going to fuck and actually have some feelings for each other.
Oh, I don't.
I'm all because we saw later Cyclops goes to Emma in X-Men.
In X-Men, yeah, X-Men 23, which we'll talk about.
And
why don't we start there?
Okay, yeah, but he basically is kind of like, hey, so like me and Jean are kind of on the outs. So, and she's like, whatever. I got other things going on.
Yeah,
I'm sick of being your fucking second banana, Scott.
No, she's so nice to him though. She's not cruel to him in that scene. But she's like, I'm not fucking you right now.
Yeah, but I felt she was kind of like setting boundaries of like, you know what? I'm worth it. And I don't need to be Jean's second banana.
Well, I actually am like, I think her motivation is she's already got this plan in her head that she's going to marry Tony. I truly do not think they're going to invent a love story out of nowhere. Like, this is definitely.
Storm and Black Panther. They invented that love story out of nowhere.
God damn it, you're right.
Yeah. So we don't know.
But this is so out of character for the both of them.
But if you think about it, you'd think that they wouldn't like each other because they are so much alike.
Sure.
They are so much alike. And I have a feeling that I bet you they're just kind of, and it's clearly been established that they've fucked before.
Yes.
And I think that, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I want to see what happens. I kind of do like the idea. I would love for her to fucking make Scott jealous for once.
Sure.
I want this to be like Scott to realize, wow, Jean is a fucking nag. And I gave up on Emma, the best blowjobs that I ever got.
Oh, undoubtedly.
And now she's sucking Tony Stark's dick. And I'm kind of jealous. Like, I kind of want all of that to be addressed.
I am excited for the wedding issue because I'm hoping for some Cyclops scenes.
Yeah, because here's another thing they need to address as well. If on the moon, Jean Grey and Cyclops are on the outs, you know who isn't on the outs with Jean Grey? Someone called Wolverine.
Sure.
So that means Wolverine can move in. Can you imagine, though, if it was just Jean and Wolvie having their own relationship without Scott?
Well, I got to tell you something. That ain't going to happen because Jean Grey ain't going to be alive much longer.
What? You think Jean Grey is going to be killed?
Her solo series establishes that nobody knows where she is. She is off-world. Nobody knows where. Nobody knows what's up. I'm guessing she dies and her series takes place in the White Hot Room.
Okay. If that is true, that's I think the only proper word is the 80s slang. That's bogus.
Bogus. Do you remember the Monster Squad?
She's died too many times.
I think she'll be
She's died too many times.
I think she'll die and she'll come right back as Phoenix.
Oh God! But then they have to get rid of the Echo Phoenix.
They did that already, I think.
But then does that mean if she
not,
can't come back the regular way? Do you think part of the fall of X is that Resurrection is gotten rid of?
Yes. Yeah, I think Nimrod attacks the Hellfire Gala and wipes out the 5.
So the 5 are all dead.
I think they're gonna die. I think the 5 are gonna die, and that's why it's like the big fall of X.
Here's the thing that's so stupid, which is if I were what I would do is just get the 5 and just have like 100 of them.
Clone the
eggs.
fuck out of them.
No,
right.
but just in eggs. And then if one of them dies, you just need Xavier or a telepath to upload the thing and have them come alive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like what Beast is doing.
It's so stupid. Especially also the idea of like, oh, we're going to erase Cerebro. But it's like, but Scarlet Witch put magic in Cerebro and it magically.
Right. And she's got the
put
whole
all
like
the stuff in.
Elysium.
So if you have. Yeah. So I'm just like, I don't know. I hate the idea that they're like, oh, it's not all this. Let's try to reset it back. And then Krakoa's gone and now they're going to have to move into Xavier's mansion. And
we don't know.
It's just like, I'm like, it's too far gone to go back.
Exactly.
Sorry.
I'd rather they go all live on Mars than go back to the mansion.
Yeah. Anyway.
You can't go home again.
That being said, there's some books.
So why don't we do this? There's so many books.
There's so many books and some are good and some are garbage.
I'm going to list them. I want you to pick 3 books that we are not going to talk about. Okay? I want you to pick them.
Okay.
All right, here's the list. Let me go through the whole list first. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, I think we can do more than 3 to not talk about, but go ahead.
Let's do 4. Okay. New Mutants Lethal Legion number 4. X-Men Before the Fall Mutant First Strike number 1. X-Men 23. Already talked about it a little bit. There's a lot more to it. Wolverine number 34. Betsy, Braddock, Captain Britain number 5. X-Men Before the Fall Heralds of Apocalypse number 1. X-Force number 41. X-Men Red number 12. And Rogue and Gambit number 4.
Okay, here's what I'm just going to say here.
Do it.
Rogue and Gambit.
Bye.
No, hold on. But I'm going to list because I don't even know. This might be more than 4, but let me see. Rogue and Gambit, X-Force, Captain Britain, and New Mutants. I believe all of those come to a conclusion in the next of their issues.
Except for Captain Britain. Captain Britain, that was the conclusion.
Oh, that was the conclusion, that one?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so we can talk about that one then. Those other ones, I feel...
Let's wait till the end.
We can just... We'll wait till the end.
Okay.
All right, real quick. Captain Britain, how did that end? See, this is talking about...
It just ends with, like, everybody, like, the Braddocks are together. They're like, Jamie, we love you, but we hate you, but we love you, Jamie. And then it's basically like Betsy's like, hey, to my core, I love you all. I'm going to go gallivant around with my lesbian lover, Rachel Ascani, while she protects the sacred timeline. And all of this was really fun, and I'm confident in my own skin again. Bye.
But what happened with Morgan Le Fay and Dr. Doom and the...
Morgan was reconnected with the magic of Britain, which kind of filled her with light. So she retains power, but she's kind of been like good washed. Like she's taken, like she's just was like, oh, the beauty, the glory. Oh, I can't be evil anymore. Bing.
That's stupid. Anyway, it kind of just ended with a whimper.
I mean... It also ended with a new queer couple who we fucking love.
Yeah, that's great. But
Sure.
What happened to, I missed when did the last issue come out?
Don't ask me about timing over the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think I might have missed that last issue. That's why I don't really remember anything. What happened to, who's the guy that grows?
Oh, they saved him.
They saved him. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they saved him, little Micromax.
Poor fella. Micromax.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
His Strike was, those 4 fun psychics were part of it. Pete Wisdom was part of it. Brian did his part. Megan did her part. It was a big group effort. It was great. It was good. And I want to say overall, the trilogy of Excalibur, Knights of X, and Betsy Braddock, Captain Britain, what an epic story. Thank you, Tini Howard.
I feel like it's not over. I feel like in a year they're going to do another one.
I love it.
I think they just keep throwing her like, oh, Lord, give us some more of that other world Captain Britain shit.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, me too.
What if we did, instead of your, how you have this fan fiction called Butterflies and Diamonds and it's about Psylocke and Emma? What if there's a book called Butterflies and Bull Dykes and it's about Betsy and Rachel?
But Butterflies and Bull Daggers.
All right, so that's that. So we're not talking about Rogue and Gambit. We are not talking about...
Well, I feel that actually... Here, I have a good segue. Because Britain, who are the bad guys, Morgan Le Fay, but also the Coven...
The Coven Akaba.
The Coven Akaba, and they are making their moves in X-Men Red and the Heralds of Apocalypse.
Yeah, and they're aligned with Orcus, so it's all part of the whole big thing. So basically, the Coven Akaba is like, hey, that. Genesis, go fuck up Storm.
Yeah, so they basically, in X-Men
So
Red,
X-Men Red and Heralds of Apocalypse, we basically have nuances of the same story, the same plot thread.
Yeah, the one is we have, who's the guy who has the 100?
The White Sword.
The White Sword. He has his soldiers of 100, and so it just seems like that new character, what's his name?
Ironfire.
Ironfire, he's one of the 100?
He's the 100th, yeah. Or the first, if you catch my drift.
Right, and he gets released
when Genesis takes over the White Sword and the other 99.
Yeah, and he kind of goes to And then he goes to Mars, to Araco. And I'm still, whose side is he on? Is he there to warn them that Genesis is coming?
Yes.
But does that mean he's against Genesis then?
Yes. Everyone's against Genesis. Genesis is bad. I'm waiting for you to bring up the fact. I'm waiting for you to bring up the fact that Ironfire and White Sword are clearly fucking.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is true. Did they say that outright, or is it just implied?
But there's heavy subtext that they're lovers.
Yeah.
Heavy subtext. We love Ironfire even more now. And when he was like all old and Odin looking in like year 1000 of Sins of Sinister. Daddy Bear.
Yeah. Oh, he would be really good with Dakin.
Ooh, Ironfire and Dakin.
That'd be a hot couple.
Ooh, oh my God, I just got horny.
I know exactly. But I will say this. So Storm is kind of like helping revolutionize Araco and making them realize, that they don't have to be a world at war.
Which is very anti-Genesis. Like, Genesis is disgusted by that whole thing. She's like, great, they're all weak now, so I'm going to kill them. And yeah, and it's just so fucking... I don't know. I'll get to my problems later. Let's go through what actually happens. I do like how it's kind of like Genesis is going to come and decide whether or not she likes what she sees. Guess what? She doesn't. She does not.
What she sees.
But she does not. She does not. She doesn't just decide. She's being very influenced by Mariana Stern and the Covenant Kaba, as we saw in both X-Men Red and Heralds of Apocalypse.
Yeah, they're basically doing the thing of like, hey, look, Uranos, when the Eternals came and attacked them, they just wiped them out and they weren't ready for it because they were all trying to be peaceful.
See what happens.
I'll tell you this, is like, guess what happens if they were not peaceful? The same thing would have happened.
Oh, they would have been killed even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, that fucking, I'm so mad at that bitch. Meaning Storm.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, her husband, Apocalypse, is like, baby, can you chill?
Yeah.
She's like, no. And he's like, all right, cool. I'm not doing this with you.
Yeah. And this is the problem that I have, is that these characters are supposed to be tens of thousands of years old.
Yeah.
And she's still that stupid. I don't know. I'm just like, fight. I want to fight.
She's bred for war. What do you want?
I'm like,
That's
you haven't learned anything after 10,000 years?
You know what? I'm going to live 10,000 years. I guarantee you I'm still a stupid bitch at the other end of it.
But anyway, she is a stupid bitch. But I'll tell you this, Heralds of Apocalypse, the fall of X Heralds of Apocalypse felt like homework.
It was definitely a lot of exposition. It definitely fleshed out.
It was all set up. It was just like homework before we start this other thing. I don't need to be reading an essay. It felt like an essay.
Oh, okay.
I need a little bit more fun. I need some actual character development. It was just plot. History, plot.
It really is like it's finally like the show of the stuff that we've been told for so many years now, and we're like, okay, we get it. Like, we know. Yeah,
this was like,
I did like the baby horseman though.
I do like the idea that she's like, she named them those names when they lived in a peaceful time.
Yeah. And then
which is what I'm going to do. Backstory. That's like me. Can you imagine? It's just like, I'm going to have my kids and be like, these are my kids. Fat fuck, cunt face, and
Supreme Court Justice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, but anyway, I'm just, I think I'm going to like Genesis versus Storm.
Yeah, me too. But let's get there.
I also like how, what's her name? The unbeaten Iska.
Yeah, I'm sick of her.
I want it because it's all going to be, whose side is she going to go on?
Oh yeah,
and I have a feeling
go on Storm's.
She's going to go on Storm's side, and that's going to fuck Genesis up. Like, that's what I'm waiting for. That's the good stuff. Let's get to the good stuff that's coming.
Yeah,
this homework essay setup, I'm like, oh, like, it's just annoying to me.
I know. And then we've got the other one, like all these Before the Fall books. We've still got the one about the Four Sinisters. And I'm like, are they still a thing?
Yes, they are. Legion of X.
Okay. Can we talk about Wolverine?
Yeah.
So I don't want to talk about X-Force. I don't want to talk about the Quentin Quire future Elseworlds cross time.
That's what I said. That one, I think that one's ending kind of. It looks like that still has another issue.
Like
to wrap
we'll
up.
talk about it when Colossus is like, I'm being controlled. Somebody help me. Then I'll talk about this book.
The fact that he knows and he's free of it and not saying anything makes no sense.
I don't know if he knows.
0 sense.
I don't know if he knows. I think he's just like, what the fuck? Where have I been? What's up?
He knows something's up.
Right.
He could fucking give Domino a heads up. He knows he killed that bitch. He knows he killed his girlfriend and buried her. Like what? I hope they fix the resurrection before they find her dead body. Because then, oh well, I guess she's dead forever.
And he's like, "Oops, my bad. I'm not telling no one."
Yeah. Anyway, I'll tell you this though, Beast.
Fucking love this book.
Beast is the biggest villain, more than the Sinisters, more than Genesis, more than Orcus. Beast is the most dangerous villain there is.
There is a long scene in this book with Wolverine and Beast at dinner, and Beast is eating a seafood platter like in the most disgusting animalistic way while he's talking about like how he's the only person who gets it. It was so fucking good. And Wolverine's just staring at him like, this is so fucking disgusting. I'm going to kill you, dude. My God.
And it all just comes to the point of the problem with Beast is Beast was always like, I'm the smartest guy in the room.
He's so full of himself.
I need to make my smarts like help the world. And I think he's reached a disillusioned part where he's like, the world is so dumb, which I can understand. I think the world is dumb, that I'm just going to take charge and do whatever the fuck I want because everyone's so dumb. It really doesn't matter if I kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Everyone's so dumb. My way is the only way.
But he's dumb too. And that's the part he doesn't like. He's just as dumb as everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you cloned Wolverine and gave him a primal reptilian brain. But
not realizing he has a healing factor.
He has a healing factor. His brain's going to heal. And now you've got 8 Wolverines that are eventually just going to want to fucking kill you.
And also you cloned a bunch of beasts that also want to kill you.
Beast doesn't understand you get more with honey than you do vinegar. You just got to be nice to people. And he's being so mean to everybody and they're going to kill him.
And this is like the story of Beast is so interesting, which is why when you go to X-Force where they're going to the future to fight future beasts, so stupid and boring and I don't care.
I know.
It's stupid.
I know. I don't know. I kind of like Maverick again. I'm hot and cold with Maverick.
They're making him interesting.
He's cool.
And not again, for the first time.
For the first time.
You never liked Maverick. Give me a break.
I was named after Brett Maverick, though, from the TV show.
What TV show?
Maverick, with James Garner.
Oh, his name was Brett Maverick?
Yeah, didn't you ever see the Mel Gibson movie?
No.
Really? From the 90s? It's a good movie.
No.
Jodie Foster.
The only Mel Gibson movie I liked was Bird on a Wire because you saw his hairy butt.
Yeah. Anyway, the character's name is Brett Maverick, and that's why my parents named me Brett.
But we hate Mel Gibson now because he is an anti-Semite.
That's right, but I'm not named after Mel Gibson. I'm named after James Garner.
That's good. Okay, fine. But for some reason, Hollywood's decided to forgive him. All right, anyway, there's my little rant about that.
Yep.
Yeah, Beast is great. It's just such Beast versus Wolverine. It's just like...
It's my favorite thing.
It's great. It's so good.
Thank you. Good.
What else we got to talk about?
We have to talk about... What did you think of that Mutant First Strike ambulatory book?
I hated it.
I hated it too, but do you know who showed up? Is that wonderful gay Nathaniel Hindsight.
Yes.
I was like, there he is, finally. Because that's basically just what this book was panel after panel of like, hey, remember me? I'm an X character that hasn't been used for the past few years. I'm going to do this. That's what the book was.
And there was like interesting ways of using powers, like the ghost girl or whatever she was like, oh, look, I can have you talk to the dead, those people that just died. But here's the thing. stop. We need to stop making stories about mass genocide and mass death. Like, oh, here's a story. Let's do a fun story where just 1,000 people of humans got blown up. I don't want to read about that. I don't want to read about that.
I got bad news for you, girl. This is comic books.
I know. But the idea that we're just going to blow up 1,000 people, it's like that's the ultimate refrigeration.
Yes.
It's not refrigeration anymore. It's like mass.
I have a feeling we're going to hear that word a lot later.
It's mass storage, like mass, like frozen room storage.
Oh my God.
Locker.
I know, right? Oh my God. It's like a Ben and Jerry's warehouse. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's what I was thinking of. It's just not interesting. It's lazy.
And it's it
it's
desensitizes us.
Exactly. And it's telling the same shit. Like, we've told this story through the X-Men so many times before. Everyone just keeps telling the same goddamn story. It's just like the fact that it's like all we know is like, there's something coming from the future. There's something from another universe. It's a different version of me from another universe. A bad guy is going to blow up the whole world. Like, it's just, we need to think of more interesting things.
Yes.
We need to stop.
Yeah.
Which is another blow up, and there's another bomb blow up thing, and another thing we're going to talk about later, which I hate.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
What else? Is there any? Did we cover everything?
Yeah. Did we talk enough about? Yeah, we did. I think we've talked about all the X books. That was quick. I'm proud of us. I think we need to move on to TV and movies.
All right. I'm scared. Let's hit the music.
Hit it.
I always feel like I'm watching a comic movie or TV.
How about we we talked about The Flash already.
We did.
Let's save superhero stuff for a bit. Let's talk about some non-superhero stuff.
Let's talk about some non-superhero stuff. A movie that you and I
not even hitting
saw
movies
recently.
Yet. I want to hear about, have you finished certain
other
series that just ended? The other two?
When I tell you I was hysterical crying through most of it, maybe. Like, why was I so emotional for the series finale of the other two? The best written, best performed comedy of the past few years.
And then you're hit with an extra gut punch that it's ending because the two creators were canceled.
Because the two creators, Chris Kelly and what's her face, are toxic
monsters.
This is why we can't.
And here's
have nice
the crazy
things.
thing is, but the two creators are based on the two main characters.
Right.
A gay guy and a girl.
Horrible.
They base those characters on themselves about how horrible they are. And then they're writing kind of this, you can't be horrible. And then behind the scenes, they were being horrible.
Do you know any stories? Like, do you know any stories from set, like things they did or said?
No, I do. My coworker's friend is friends with his ex from college. So I was like, do you have any tea? And he's like, no, it was nothing that traumatic back then.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is the story of Tina Fey. You heard what Tina Fey said?
No.
Tina Fey was doing, was it an interview or a speech or something? I can't remember if it was on a podcast or if she was like accepting an award for something. But anyway, they were quoting her where she was like, Lorne Michaels needs to really be more careful of how he develops monsters in his writing room.
Yeah.
She was like, he creates monsters. He creates them a world where they're allowed to treat people terribly and make them work under very bad conditions and thinking that's normal. And she's like, I'm talking to you, cast. Like, she's like, and if anyone doesn't believe me, talk to the crew from the other two. And these are two people that worked on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, he used to be a head writer.
And then the rumors that are going around is that basically they would come to set and just start screaming at the entire crew and then also demanding that everybody work overtime, working everyone to the bone. And it's that thing where when you're creating something, and as someone who's created my own shows, you have an investment in it that you want it to be good.
Sure, of course.
But you forget that all the people working for you, they are working for you for money. They don't give a shit.
They're not as emotionally
Exactly.
invested.
And I think people are like, why are you not invested in this?
Don't
because
you
it's not my
care?
fucking thing. It's yours. Like, you should be wanting to work overtime. Like, no, then fucking pay me money.
Fuck
bitch.
you. Right.
But they had so many HR complaints, they were banned from set for a short period.
Yeah, I heard that.
And eventually they were, they were kind of relieved and being like, okay, we don't need to take any action. However, in the end, when they were coming up for renewal, supposedly it was like there were so many HR complaints. The two creators were like, yeah, I think we're just going to end it. And I think it's because they saw the writing on the wall that there were going to be a lot of complaints and it might be a pushback. And
Well,
the other thing I heard,
said it was a great ending. Oh, what was the other
thing I heard is that they originally wanted to be the stars of the show.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And they were like, no, you're just the writers. And there was a certain bitterness.
So it's just they wore that probably for the whole thing.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
that being said, the other two will go down kind of also like with happy endings of like, do you remember Happy Endings?
Oh, yeah.
Of one of the greatest, like the other Good Place. It's up there as like one of the greatest comedies
Yeah.
of all time.
I mean, it's
It is so fucking funny.
so fucking funny. And like in particular, I think looking back, Josh Segarra and Molly Shannon did so much work. And I feel like the both of them need to be recognized in some award kind of way.
Is he the boyfriend?
Yeah, Lance.
Yeah, great. They're so great.
So great. But I mean, of course, Drew Tarver and Helen York, like the two stars. The whole show, incredible. It sucks to hear this story come out. But if I can try to separate art from artist.
Oh, it's amazing. It's so good. And also, but then that's the weird thing is you needed these two horrible people.
Yeah, to fuel.
To write these two horrible
Right.
characters. And it was very cringy watching, as a gay man, watching
Especially
this
Carrie.
gay person, Carrie, act so horribly. But you also are
Villain.
like, but as someone who lives in Hollywood with a bunch of actors,
You get
you're
it.
like, oh, I know that person.
Oh, I have that person inside of me. Like never once where I was like, why the fuck did he do that? I get it. I get that character fundamentally. And what is it when Curtis, his best friend who he tries to make up with at the end, when he's like, Curtis explains why Carrie was doing all this stuff. He's like, 'cause you just need a validation. You need no one to ever think that they're better than you. I'm like, yep, that's it. That's why that's why we perform.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
Ah. But great performance. There's like guest stars like Simu Liu is,
Oh my God.
is in it. They make fun of him so hard. And I was like, what a good sport that they let him.
He's so bad at eating out Molly Shannon.
Yeah. It's great. Wanda Sykes is great in it.
Wanda Sykes was so good. It was her best work ever.
It's so great. If you haven't watched it, you can now just binge 3
it.
seasons of it. It's fantastic.
I don't know if straight people will like it.
Maybe
But
not.
who cares?
Who cares?
Right. Okay, now can we talk about should we talk about something that isn't superheroes, but maybe on a bigger
Yes, in a
screen?
movie. Yes.
So I remember, I used to work at the Second City back in the day, the Comedy Theater in Chicago. And I remember hearing of this person and thinking that their work was good through the grapevine, hearing their work was good. And then seeing this person on Twitter absolutely come for Second City and how Second City devalues diversity and inclusion. And it led to so much unraveling of Second City. I've always put this person on a pedestal. So it's really nice to see Dwayne Perkins write and star in a horror movie, The Blackening, which I think you and I agree upon.
Yeah.
Is fantastic.
Should we do a 1, 2, 3?
Oh, yes, we should. Yes, we should. No spoilers. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Loved it. So funny. I mean, like, The Blackening in theaters now, it's got kind of like Ready or Not vibes. It's got Scream vibes. It's got Scary Movie vibes.
It's
good.
I'm telling you right now, there was something like while I was watching it, laughing hysterically, I felt like, oh, this is a forever movie.
Oh my God, girl, that's what I wrote in my Letterboxd review. That this is one of those movies that you're just, when it's on, you watch
instant classic.
Yes.
Exactly. There's like, I'm talking like Mean Girls, Scream.
Anytime it's on, you watch it.
Exactly. There's certain movies that just, you will watch it over and over.
Oh my God, I can't believe
again.
you said that. Absolutely.
It's that fucking funny. And this movie, I will say, the only if I had to give a complaint, is that it was very clear who the bad guy was.
Oh, absolutely.
Which I think it was also very clear that they did not give a shit about.
They didn't give a shit.
I also felt they could have let more people die.
They could have. Well, I don't know.
I think they could have killed off more people.
I don't know. That's the thing I love about it, is it's so inverted.
Exactly. But that being said, they do not give you room. They do not give you room before the next joke drops.
They hit you with so much.
Joke, hit.
But it's also very suspenseful,
laugh.
like legitimately suspenseful.
Oh, yeah.
It's not scary, but it's very tense.
It's so fucking funny.
It's basically
I haven't laughed that hard.
Oh my God,
in
I was
very
dying.
long time.
It's
in a movie.
8 characters who have and they were so right to give these characters such a deep history and background, because it's basically about their friendships and relationships, and the whole like trapped in a cabin in the woods with a killer is kind of like backdrop to that story about their relationships. But it's just that they affect one another so much, and that I think was really the secret of why this movie resonates.
Yeah,
it is basically 8 characters telling each other to shut the fuck up. For an hour
yes.
and a half.
Oh my God.
Shut the fuck up.
It's so quotable. And granted, as white people, we can probably quote maybe like an eighth of them.
Sure. Right.
But it's so fucking funny. Everyone's so great. I think Dwayne Perkins.
I'm in love with him, by the way. He's so adorable.
Yeah. And what's her name? How do you say her name? X-Mayo? Mayo? Who I watched on American. She's on, what's it called? American Auto.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she plays the secretary, and she's super funny. She's super funny in it, but this is like next level.
This is like material that she got to work with.
It was like when Tiffany Haddish came on to Girls Trip.
You were like, oh,
blew the shit out of the park. Yes. She is so fucking funny. Yeah, there's just so many like breakout performances from it.
Absolutely.
It's just, if you like literally watch The Blackening, it's one of the funniest movies of all time.
You're just so invested. You're so invested. Like, it's like the rare movie, and I think maybe this is a movie you can watch anytime it's on. You're so invested in it, but it doesn't feel exhausting or like work, or like it's so light and fun and welcoming, but it's still so engaging.
There's also where you just feel, you can feel the cast is having a blast.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
They loved
like,
making this. Yes.
It's just it's so great. It's great.
And like, it's not afraid to be stupid in like a stupid way. Like, there's so many things where you're like, this is so stupid, but you love it. Like when she smears mud on her face, you're like,
yeah,
where did this come from? But I love it.
I love it because she meant to give her a Valium, but she accidentally gave her Adderall. Like, so then.
Fantastic. Please go see The Blackening. Oh my God. Okay. Here we are. Here we go. Are we going to get into Secret Invasion?
Yeah. Do you remember my Dazzler song?
No.
There's
what?
There's an episode of Dazzled and Confused where I did a song. It's the episode with Wolverine and Jubilee where I sing a song called Hop on It.
Oh, yeah. I remember that now.
But that was when Secret Invasion was coming out and X Nation. So there's a line where I'm like, don't need a secret invasion, a stupid X Nation.
I remember that.
Oh my God. And every time I see Secret Invasion, that song starts of Hop on It. Because it's also about if the dick is too big, you have to like hop on it to get it to go in.
Stupid.
Anyway, I always hear that song. Secret Invasion. Here we go. We're going to talk about it. I think Brett and me have very different takes on this show.
Potentially.
Are we doing 1, 2, 3? Is that only for movies?
Let's do 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
I like it.
I don't like it at all. It's committing the mortal sin of cinema.
What?
It's fucking boring.
Oh,
it's
shit.
boring.
I don't think it's boring.
It is boring.
Never once have I been like, and I know there is a contingent of people that are like, this is boring. I love every syllable.
Here's the thing, Brad. When you see characters you like and characters like, oh, here's a little Easter egg, that fuels you inside. And it doesn't do the same for me.
Yeah.
I think that fueling of having that, oh, look, it's that character. Oh, look, it's this character. I think that fuels you where I don't give a shit about that.
You know what it is?
And
what
so
fuels me?
I'm just like bored. What?
It's another installment of the Captain America corner of the MCU. And
yeah, but guess what? That fucking Falcon and Winter Soldier was fucking boring too.
I know. I enjoyed it. Well, no, I didn't enjoy it. I still enjoyed it when I was watching it. It wasn't great because they had to edit out the whole villain plot.
The first episode of Captain Winter Soldier was amazing because
Captain America wasn't
action scenes.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier wasn't good because they took out the whole disease plot and none of the antagonist plot made sense. And that's why that show was bad. This, I think, is great because I think it showcases Sam Jackson and Don Cheadle as actors. I think it leans into political paranoia spy thriller like Winter Soldier did. A lot of what they're doing here is very of the genre of spy paranoia, invasion of the body snatchers type shit. And I love that type shit. And I think they're executing that type shit well.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, I love an intense conversation in a political thriller. I love that. And I feel like this has that.
I do too, if there is more, if there were stakes involved.
Oh, there are
I also
stakes.
I think it's very, the stakes, but here's the deal. There aren't stakes because the thing that made the original Secret Invasion interesting is the twist that it's like fucking Jessica Drew. Like there's like huge people are Skrulls.
Yeah, but I mean, that's coming.
I don't give a shit that the Prime Minister of the UK that I've never fucking seen before is a Skrull.
Okay.
Ooh, who gives a fuck?
They're clearly setting up a big Skrull reveal.
And you're going to make me watch what, 5 episodes before you hit me with it? No, you need to do that episode 1. They tried to do it with what's his nuts, Hobbit guy. What's his name?
Well, that was Ross. That was your first.
But he wasn't even a Skrull. He just dressed up like that guy that one moment, and then it was a quick little reveal.
No, he's absolutely a Skrull because he's hooked up to one of those machines, and we don't know when they got him.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is that one was revealed right away, and then he was immediately killed.
I know, but of course they're going to do a right away reveal. Of course they are.
But then they need to have another right away reveal. Like they need to have more reveals. It needs to be twist, turn, twist. Wait, who do I trust? Who do I trust? I don't know. I want to see Don Cheadle turn into a Skrull at the end of that episode.
Well, that's coming.
That's what I'm saying. It's taken too fucking long.
It's been 2 episodes.
And also, let's talk about those episodes. Those episodes feel like they're 5 hours long. I am so bored. There's one, and then fucking. I thought it was going to be fucking Agent Brand.
Well,
with Amelia Clark.
You can't be mad about that.
What do you mean I can't be mad about that? I could be mad about
you wrote a story in your head.
Oh, like you did have a story in your head too.
Yeah, but I let it go because I heard she was going to be Gaia. Who, by the way, I find super interesting that little girl from Captain Marvel has been radicalized and she's bad now. Love that.
Yeah, but then I'm also sick of fucking. Oh, well, I guess I don't know if what I'm doing is right. I guess I'm going to help blow up 2,000 people. Yeah. And then, of course, at the end, she's going to be like, oh, I'm going to switch back to the good guys.
Right.
Too late, bitch. You blew up 2,000 people.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Irredeemable.
We'll see. It is irredeemable.
I hate also blowing up 2,000 people. And then, all right, spoilers, everybody. This was the big
This I don't like.
Big thing.
This I don't
They
like.
fucking kill Maria Hill and just like, boom, up, she's shot, and now she's dead. I mean, I'm assuming that it was all a big ruse and she was a Skrull and she's not really dead. I don't think she's really dead.
No, she's dead.
Are you sure she's dead?
Yeah, because I think they are giving Nick Fury something to avenge.
But isn't it true that she is? I heard she's going to be in the Marvels.
Nope.
Are you sure?
Yep.
If she's really dead, she died in a real lame way.
I know. I do not like it.
It was very lame. It was stupid.
It's refrigeration.
And then it was like, oh, okay.
They fridged Maria Hill. So
and then it was like, and that was your big thing. It is all of the stakes and the setups and the big surprises are lame. The only person there's one person saving this show. Well, Sam Jackson is always great.
Sam Jackson's great.
But there is one other person who's saving this show, and
Olivia Colman.
Fucking Olivia Colman.
She's
it needs
great.
to just be fucking Olivia Colman and Sam Jackson, and just fucking get rid of it. I also I don't like this. I don't like it. It's boring. Interesting fast.
What I'm gonna not like. They keep saying this is gonna lead into Armor Wars, and so to me, then the writing is already on the wall. Like Cheadle's a Skrull. Olivia Colman is after Stark Tech. She's gonna be the Iron Man villain Spy Master. Like, that's where I see all of this going, and I really hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But Cheadle is absolutely a Skrull. I will say this, though. That scene between Don Cheadle and Sam Jackson was iconic. I loved it.
I mean,
not since Pacino and De Niro in Heat.
Oh, are you high right now?
It was great.
Pacino and De Niro in Heat?
Yeah.
Give me a fucking break. Yeah, maybe it was. I wouldn't even give it Crystal Connors and Nomi Malone and Showgirls.
Oh my God.
Give me a break.
It was so good.
Oh my God, Brett, I think you're a Skrull now. You're being brainwashed.
They were nailing that scene. Are you kidding?
It was fine, but it was boring. It was boring. Ugh.
It wasn't boring.
The end of our friendship.
Nick Fury being like, "You're black, I'm black, help me out," and Don Cheadle being like, "Fuck that." I thought that was so interesting.
It was okay. It was just okay.
Fine. So was the scene in Heat. It wasn't that great. It was underwhelming. I expected more out of those two Titanic actors. And I love the reveal that he's married to a Skrull. I love that.
That's cute. Yeah, that's cute. I like that.
And I love it that Gravik, because he looked up to Nick Fury. I don't know. I think it goes deep into this wonderful moment. The only thing that I think is really stupid is like, really, Sam Jackson, Nick Fury, Captain Marvel, you didn't give these people a home for like, you said you were going to do it, and you sat on it for like 3.5 decades.
Yeah,
what?
Garbage people. Oh
my God, fuck you. I'm Team Gravik.
Yeah, I mean, I will say it is hard to try, but then it's also just like this weird thing of like, let's pit America and Russia against each other. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of really happening.
Yeah, it's really happening. I will say this, like, I thought it was like when they were like, "There's 1 million Skrulls among us." I was like, "Ooh, I think you overstretched." Like, what are you gonna do with? There's 1 million. Like, game over. Like, what? Like, I thought they were gonna be like, there are 350. Nope, 1 million. I'm like, what do you get? Okay. That's a big bite. Like, can you chew and swallow that?
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's because at this point, if you had 1 million and you can look like anyone, you literally would just be the leader of every country.
It's over. Right.
And also, if you were the leader of every country, if you're the leader of every country, why haven't you taken over the world? Like, why do you have to blow up the world?
I will say also, they're also telegraphing something is absolutely going to happen to Dermot Mulroney, our president, our current MCU president, because Harrison Ford plays President Thunderbolt Ross in Thunderbolts.
Oh, yeah. It's just also the idea that like Skrulls are immune to radiation, so we're just going to nuke the planet and live in the radiated world.
Ew.
I think that's really stupid. And then let me complain about the other thing.
Okay.
The opening credits.
Oh, God. Horrible. How dare you?
Done by AI?
I know.
AI?
You just don't want to pay anybody. Don't give me that bullshit of like, no, it's supposed to be that like they're non-human. Fuck you. You just didn't want to pay people.
I'm over it.
Yeah. No, that's a horrible stain. Horrible stain on it. I will say, like, I do wish Secret Invasion. I love it. I do wish it would just be like, I need Marvel to take bigger risks.
Exactly. Their twists and turns are like safe twists and turns.
Yeah.
They need to do something jaw-dropping.
Yeah. Or just stylistically, like the way it's presented.
Yeah.
I want more
that's what I'm saying
risks.
Is like WandaVision was taking jaw-dropping twists and turns.
Exactly.
And doing crazy stuff. And this is just not it. I want something like like Madrox absorbing his baby kind of twist and turn type of stuff. Ugh.
Now, I will say I am very surprised they showed Olivia Colman straight up cut somebody's finger off on a Disney Plus Marvel show. I was like, oh, good for you.
Marvel, Disney, they got some gross stuff going on. I mean, they have all the Indiana Jones movies are on there. There's
some gross stuff.
Jones is pretty nasty.
Yeah. When in Temple of Doom, when he would reach in and pull your heart out, as a kid, I was terrified of that.
Awful. Well, the end. Well, part 1, where everybody's faces melt off. It
my God.
The fuck out of me.
Oh my God. I remember hiding my eyes. My parents were like, Brett, don't look.
And Joe just saw the latest Indiana Jones.
Oh God, I bet he hated it.
He said that it should have just been Phoebe Waller-Bridge, like taking over the role, and then him more as a cameo, kind of like Last Crusade, where like Sean Connery was the dad.
Yeah,
he was like Harrison Ford was just too old and too grumpy.
Yeah,
at this point to be the same. It's like that person had so much charisma, and now you just like have a grumpy old man.
I mean,
and he just was like, it was just pretty just paint by the numbers, which for Indiana Jones was so epic that kind of created a whole genre. Of that it's now just like a kind of just so he said it was kind of lame.
I know. I like, honestly, like the other two, oh God, it has a huge stain on it. Secret Invasion, oh God, what a huge stain on it. The Blackening, you're perfect.
You're perfect. Don't have a change. Until another scandal comes out with one of them. Who knows?
Who knows? Not that adorable.
I'll tell you something. This cancel culture has gotten out of hand. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, my God. Well, I'm exhausted.
Me too. That was a lot to talk about because you had to take 500 years off.
I know. I'm sorry. I was gallivanting around the continent.
It's okay.
I had not been abroad. I had not been out of the country for 20 years.
I have not been out of the country since 2009.
Oh my God. You're 2000 and late.
Yeah. I know. It's going to be time soon. But although Joe and me have weird travel, I am not, because I have a horrible fear of flying. I am not the person to be like, let's go on this trip because I'm always thinking about the fear of flying. But then he's not a good planner. So we always end up like just not going places.
Oh, you should get over your fear of flying.
Well, okay, sure.
See? That easy.
Okay, I'll just do that. But that's the thing is if someone planned the trip and be like, we're doing this, you're getting on this plane, I'd be like, okay.
Oh.
But we still want to go to Japan. But that's the thing. He's never been to New York. Joe has never seen snow.
Wow.
Because he was from the Philippines and Florida.
Yeah.
He's never been to New York. I've never been to San Francisco.
It's garbage.
Oh, shit. I feel like as a gay, that's kind of sacrilege. But there's so many places we want to go to.
Yeah.
We want to go to Japan and Iceland. I think are our tops to go to when we finally leave the country.
I hear great things about both.
Yeah.
And your presence is being requested in New York next month.
What's happening in New York?
FlameCon, and we have press passes.
Oh, right. When is that?
We'll talk about it after we hit stop.
All right. Well, there's a lot coming. There's a lot of drama. Will Jeff travel?
We don't get on a plane to come to FlameCon? Find out next
Jeff
week.
Be at FlameCon? Yeah. Same fag time, same fag
channel. We should end every show like that.
Guys, thanks for listening. I know been a while, but we're back to it.
Happy Pride.
And just to let you know,
Happy Wrath.
Yeah, keep reading those comics. Because if you do read comics, I hate to break it to you, but that makes you queer.
And we need more of us. More queers.
Time to recruit. Bye.
Bye.
Damn.